Bill Birtles there on the streets of Jakarta in Indonesia. German authorities have arrested 6 alleged foreign spies in just the last week. 2 are accused of spying for Russia and 4 for China. Deutsche Welle correspondent Nicole Frölich joins us now from Berlin. Nicole, g'day. So what's known about these alleged spies?
Well, it's been quite a week here in Germany. At this point, really, there are more questions than answers. The first arrest came on Thursday, the suspects being 2 dual German-Russian citizens alleged to have coordinated with Moscow to carry out sabotage attacks on industrial and military infrastructure in Germany linked to the training of Ukrainian soldiers. Now, one of them actually fought against Ukraine in the area of Donetsk, which was illegally annexed by Russia in 2022, which is how the authorities here in Germany caught on to him. Now, on Monday, then 3 German citizens were arrested suspected of supplying information on military technology to a Chinese intelligence service. The prosecutor says 2 of them ran a company that partnered with a university here in Germany to study advances in the technological sector that could be used for military equipment. They're also accused of illegally exporting a laser. Doesn't sound that bad to begin with, but that's considered a dual-use item, so a civilian object that can be used for military purposes as well. But the real bombshell came on Tuesday when it became known that a longtime aide to a far-right politician who just so happens to be the top candidate for his party in the upcoming European elections had also been taken into custody on spying charges. He is being described as an employee of the Chinese Secret Service, and his case is considered especially severe, with him passing on information about negotiations and decisions in the European Parliament and spying on Chinese opposition members here in Germany. Now, the MEP himself, his boss, whose party is flying high in the polls here in Germany, is quite tight-lipped about the entire matter, but calls for consequences are rife, as you can imagine, with many questioning how realistic it is that he, who has raised eyebrows in the past through his links to China as well as Russia, truly knew nothing of his staffer's double identity.
So how big is the threat from these alleged spies?
Now, especially this last case has, of course, sent shockwaves through the country. The German Interior Minister has called it an attack on European democracy from within. And she's not alone in her assessment. The head of Germany's domestic intelligence agency told DW in an exclusive interview that the current threat level is comparable to that of the Cold War. And he's well aware of those arrested just representing the tip of the iceberg. He called acts of espionage in Germany incessant, but also warned that the threat of acts of sabotage, cyber attacks, and dis and misinformation campaigns is extremely high, especially coming out of Russia. And Germany is a very prominent target here, not just because of its physical location in the heart of Europe, but also because of its global political and economic relevance, particularly in the case of China, and its staunch support for Ukraine in the case of Russia.
And what's the other issue that has German authorities on high alert?
Well, the threat of an Islamist terror attack is considered high, especially as Germany heads into hosting the European Football Championship this summer, and Paris gets ready for the Olympics. The German intelligence chief tells us there is information about the Islamic State Khorasan province group encouraging attacks similar to the ones in Paris and Brussels, both of them devastating. Your viewers might remember. The most likely scenarios are believed to be those involving foreign hit teams that could have already infiltrated the country, planning big attacks, or domestically radicalized individuals, lone wolves as they're known, setting out on smaller scale attacks like the ones we've seen more often in recent years here in Europe. Now, the situation, of course, more volatile because of the crisis in the Middle East, but German authorities insist they are well prepared and well enough coordinated to thwart any terror plots. Similar messaging coming out of Paris, but that might not be enough to quell the unease of those planning their visits to these mass events.
Okay, Nicole Frölich reporting there from Berlin.